welcome everyone to my Gilded Sea Urchin box. I'm going to be making a vessel where the sea urchin shell is the body of the box. And here's what it looks like. Here is my box. The vessel is a sea urchin, and the lid comes off. A little jewel in the lid, which I have not installed yet on this one. And the box part is an insert into the shell that joins with the base via a tenon joint. So what we're turning is three parts: lid, box, and foot. Here's the kind of sea urchin I'll be using. These are called Sputnik, and I'll be talking more about them as I get ready to work on it. I've been working with sea urchins for a fairly long time, starting with hanging ornaments. I've also made other kinds of ornaments like this birdhouse. And for a while I was doing teapots out of sea urchins, which is kind of a fun thing. I've always loved blingy stuff like gilding. And so gilding the sea urchin was a natural thing to come next. And this is 24 karat gold, which I'm going to be showing today. I will be showing some different kinds of gilding. The variegated metal is a great choice for a sea urchin because it's not as expensive as real gold, and it's really easy to work with. And you can get some really cool effects out of it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my sea urchin, because the first thing I'll do is prep the sea urchin, and then I will make my box parts to fit it. And before I turn on the lathe, I'd like to talk a bit about safety equipment. I use safety glasses always whenever I'm in the shop with a machine running. It's convenient now because I can't see really very well without glasses. These are prescription. I not see well enough to do any work. If I'm doing something where there are lots of things flying or something large that might hit me in the face, I will definitely wear a full face shield. I also have a powered respirator that I'll wear when I don't have to have a microphone on. And to protect my lungs, my preference, rather than the powered respirator, usually my preference is a half mask like this. So I would rather wear a half mask and a face shield than the powered thing with the battery and the noise and everything. For my hearing, my preference is these kind of little foam ear things. That's what I like for hearing protection. And the last thing is I want to really stress the CS button. Do not turn it off. CS stands for common sense. This plan is on my website. You can download it. It's got the structure of what we're making, and it's got some dimensions that correspond to what I'm doing today. I'm going to do this foot shape by starting with just a rim width here that I want. And there's a lot of wood to remove. A lot of wood to remove here. I'm using my small bowl gouge mainly to save the edge on my spindle gouge for the more important details. A top curve to that foot base, and using the small bowl gouge to do a lot of bulk removal. Now I'll use my spindle gouge. Now I'll take the flat rim and turn it into a radius edge, which is the detail I wanted, but I find it easier to get there by starting with the flat rim and then rounding it off. And on the underside, I'm going to undercut it. Let's wrap it around a little more. I'm going to undercut it here but I don't need to work in really close there right now. Right now I'm going to work on the top side. And I've got my spindle gouge now because this is the tool I prefer for the fine details. Creating a dome top shape on the foot right up to a little fillet, and we're going to make a cove that joins that bottom fillet with the top fillet up here. I always like to remove bulk away from these fine edges before trying to make a cut right on the edge like that. Because when I take a heavy cut, the bulk of wood is pushing back on the tool, and it's going to possibly push back against that fragile corner like this one. So I'm removing the bulk, and then I'm taking a final cut and working down a fairly thin foot, small diameter. And now for some chameleons. So we're going to just put some flakes. It's going to be mostly dragging around the lid here. These are already color shifting things, and I'm putting lots of color on. So we're going to just have colors going nuts in this one. All right, here we have a good feeling for the difference between mica powder and chameleon flakes. Look at the glitter difference. Whoa. And I'm going to just lay it on there. And then I'm going to overlap them so that there ends up a double layer on every surface. And this is firmly adhering and burnishing. And ooh, look at that brilliance come up. This will be a delightful small hanging ornament, I think. So that one in the middle, it is really, the picture is not doing it justice. So this is completely awesome. The color shifting. This is just amazing stuff. So that's a pretty good overview of gilding. And this actually is the third, I believe, in a series of projects that I have done aimed towards showing different ways to gild the kind of things I do. And so this is the capping off of it all by doing the most complex surface out there, the sea urchin shell. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope I've inspired you to try some of this gilding stuff, all of you.